Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoterica and our continuing series, Ranking Rancor, where I rank my top 5 Sonic games, both 3D and 2D categories. And today in the number 2 spot, we're taking a look at Sonic Lost World. If you think my ideas are wrong, leave a comment below and tell me why this is not your number 2 Sonic game. But as usual, I've taken a very scientific method to ranking all these games, taking into account a lot of different criteria, and what it all boils down to is all just my pure opinion. Because when this game came out, I absolutely fell in love with it. And while it is a 3D Sonic game, it feels nothing like the other 3D Sonic games that Sega and Sonic Team have given to us. And it definitely borrows heavily from the Mario franchise. Obviously, this looks like Mario Galaxy, and you can definitely say they copied it. But if you're copying from one of the best games of all time, you're going to end up with something really good as well. And that's why I really enjoy Sonic Lost World, because it does something different with the 3D Sonic formula. And what always confuses me about Sonic Team is how much they bounce around with the franchise. Some games are amazing, some games are absolute garbage. They just seem to always be playing around with the formula, and sometimes when they do a good job and it hits, you get something like Lost World. To me, this almost seems like a homage to Sonic Extreme on the Sega Saturn, which never came out, but that game used a fisheye lens engine that was borrowed from Nights into Dreams, and this game has that same exact fisheye look to it. So whether I'm just reading into that, or if there is some inspiration from that unreleased game, it's definitely something that you can consider when you're watching the gameplay. But compared to Sonic Adventure 2 and the original Sonic Adventure, which have both already been on the playlist and I love those games, this is when Sonic Team was getting better at actually making 3D Sonic games, because the amount of cheap deaths in this particular title are very low. It just plays really well. Although, in all honesty, it's not as fast as every other 3D Sonic game, but I think that may be why I actually enjoy it so much, because they've slowed Sonic down just enough so that he's really controllable and that you don't feel like the game's playing itself, but he's fast enough so you still feel like you're playing a Sonic game. It's like Super Mario Galaxy running at like 3 times the speed. Now that we're going to this next stage here, you're going to see a lot of that different speed. You have to be precise with your controls, you have to do everything really well, and you have to make split-second decisions, but the game isn't getting in your way when you put those button inputs in. If you make a mistake like I just did there, it is your fault. The game isn't fighting you, and considering that is such an issue with 3D Sonic games, I really commend Sonic Team when they made this. Even all the lock-on attacks work. In some of the other 3D Sonic games, you feel like it should have worked. You push the button and then something goes wrong in the background, but it is a game that you feel like if you make a mistake, it's on you, not on the game designers or the engine or some dropped input. And I absolutely love the soundtrack as well. It's got this really like jazzy tune to it. I just feel like Sega did a little extra for this game, and it is a Wii U exclusive, so you don't have to have a Wii U to be able to play it as far as consoles are concerned, but it looks amazing. It's super colorful. We're coming into this boss battle here, and you have this gigantic cube head with all these different like screen space reflections on it. You see as he comes down, everything has nice shadows, and it just looks better than most 3D Sonic games, including Sonic Forces, which came out much later than this. That was one of those games I put in the dumpster fire category of 3D games. You definitely won't be seeing it on this playlist anywhere. But Lost World, it looks great, it sounds great, it plays great, and it does something different with the Sonic formula that I think really works well. Because Sega in the 3D Sonic games have always wanted to slow the character down to give you some more of that Mario-like exploration control, and more often than not, it doesn't control very well, so you feel like it's a boring segment of the game, you feel like it doesn't play very well mechanically, and you kind of feel like it's unfair. Where in Lost World, all of those slower segments, they just work, and they have really fun mechanics and ideas behind them, so when you're playing them, you're not just kind of wishing you could get back to the fast 3D portions of Sonic, which I think is to this game's definite benefit. But you will see it's not at number 1. I'm sure by now you can probably guess what number 1 is, but you'll have to wait a couple weeks and see. But now that we have beaten that first boss there, we are going to move on to the next stage. And even the end of stage music is kind of orchestral, and it just has a really nice sound to it. But now we are on to another stage, and you do get these on-rail segments, and that's definitely a staple of the Sonic 3D games. But unlike some of the other games where it's just like a purely 3D sliding on rails, you are going to go into a more 2D from the side of you that kind of feels like an evolution of the minecart stages in Donkey Kong Country, and I really do love that. But you're not going to fall off the rails unless you make a mistake. The game's not going to fight you on the controls. You can see that Sonic magnetizes to them, so whatever goes wrong is on you. And I know that's really strange to say because most games should be developed in a way where if you make a mistake, it's your fault you died. The game shouldn't arbitrarily kill you because there was a glitch. But in 3D Sonic games, we kind of just have to remember that you die a lot because the engine and the designers and the code underlying the game always seem to have issues and seem to want to just kill you for no good reason. So this game is great. And all the different character designs, the enemies, everything looks really good. You have these robotic fish coming up out of the water and you need to avoid them. So everything just looks amazing. This looks like a modern game. And I don't think the Wii U gets enough credit for what it could actually do graphically because it was a failure of a system. But it had some incredible exclusive games for it outside of Lost World that you should definitely check out. I can't recommend the system enough. I love playing it. I would never get rid of my Wii U. It's one of my favorite consoles. Just because it failed doesn't mean it wasn't good. It was just marketed poorly. And I think Sonic Lost World has that same syndrome. It's a game exclusive to a console that failed, and it's just different enough than the traditional 3D Sonic formula where people might not love it as much. But now we're going to take a look at here is Frozen Factory because the game does love changing things up. Now we're playing as a giant snowball rolling around. It's slower, but it controls well, and the music's great. But what you do is listen to the music, and I'll come back in just a minute, and we'll finish up with Sonic Lost World, but enjoy this jaunty little tune.
The way he keeps on trying to get past all the death traps and enemies and stuff. I think he kind of likes me.
I do love the music in that stage. Now that we're moving on to Silent Forest, all the music is going to take this sort of jungly aesthetic, and each piece of music for each stage feels really well intentioned. It fits, and it feels like whatever the composer was really wanted to make the music for this game. And I do love these plastic looking alligators that pop up. It reminds me of the arcade game where you bop the alligator's head and you get tickets. And that's what I love so much about Lost Worlds. It feels like Sonic team wanted to make this game versus they had to make a Sonic game, because this game feels intentioned, it feels methodical, it feels like every decision was thought out to make the best Sonic game possible at that point in time. And granted, it probably does rip off Super Mario Galaxy to a T, but I don't mind that much because it is an awesome game, and this is the type of Sonic games that I want to play, and it's what I wish Sega would keep focusing on. It doesn't need to be a direct sequel to Lost World, but making Sonic games that feel intentioned and feel like the people wanted to make them is what we need more of, because every Lost World that we get something like Sonic Boom or Sonic Forces, which are bad, it's just downright terrible games, and I wish Sega would just focus on what makes Sonic so much fun, because as a fan, you have to go through that classic Sonic cycle. Is the new game going to be great? Is it going to be terrible? And that's probably the first cheap death I took the entire time, and I could have stopped. I think that's kind of on me, but you will take a cheap death now and then. It is a Sonic game, and that's just what happens. But I can't recommend this game highly enough. If you have a Wii U, pick it up. It's not that expensive. If you don't have a Wii U, you should probably buy one anyway, because it has some incredible games on it, and ignore what people say about it being a failure. Just because it didn't sell doesn't mean it's not good. It just means it wasn't marketed well. But that is Sonic Lost World. It's an awesome game. It definitely borrows way too much from Super Mario Galaxy, but I can't really fault them for that because that game was so incredible. It's definitely something that you'd want to use as inspiration. But as far as this game's concerned, it has everything you want in a Sonic game. It's got speed, it's got those areas of platforming that are really fun to play, it's got different power-ups, it has everything that a Sonic game needs, and it chops up pretty much everything a Sonic game doesn't need. But we will be back next Sunday, and we'll be talking more Sonic, and we'll be back on Tuesday and Friday as well with the videos in those series. But if you could do us a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe, and ring that notification bell. It takes a lot of time and energy to make each one of these episodes, but granted I do get to play some more Sonic, so I can't really say it's hard work. But thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and like I said, one more time, I can't recommend this game highly enough. Go out, pick it up if you haven't done it yet, play it, you're definitely going to enjoy it. Short of that, thanks so much for watching, one more cheap death, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.